and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we're talking 20 small money hacks that will make a huge impact in your overall bottom line. If you have been struggling to figure out the best ways to save, manage, grow, budget your money, then this is the episode that you want to tune into. So do not touch that dial, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Black Biz Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're not familiar with the Black Biz Success Mastermind, it is the premier group for aspiring entrepreneurs, and those who want to network and connect with other Black entrepreneurs. Text the keyword mastermind at 314-866-4053. Again, if you want a special invitation to join this free community, text the keyword mastermind to 314-866-4053. Today, we're talking small money hacks that will make a big impact on your bottom line. Do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand. If you feel that you're going to get value from the show, then go ahead and share the stream, and I'm going to give you some thanks in advance. Before we get into these 20 small money hacks that can transform your finances permanently, ladies and gentlemen, got to go through a couple quick announcements. Number one, I am loading up for my Black History Month programming for 2022. Black History Month, I love to focus on economic empowerment, social justice, and community development. So if you know anybody who is doing amazing work in the area of bringing economic empowerment to our community, bringing social justice to our community, or bringing community involvement and togetherness in our community in a major way, I want to get them on the show during the month of February as we celebrate the great and wonderful contributions that Black people have made to this country, but also around the globe. So I want to partner with some good people that have some good conversations, some good dialogue around what we need to do to grow and continue to elevate and evolve. So you can tag them in this episode, or you can just inbox me, introduce us via messenger. However you need to put me in touch with these people, please do so. I would love to have more and more of these conversations. Also, we are in the 11 days left, right? For the Black Biz Success app, you can literally get the big business plan for the small business plan price. If you have been struggling to build a online presence because you don't have the right tools and the resources, I'm telling you, the Black Biz Success app is the most amazing platform to build any business on when you're trying to grow your online presence. Plus, you get the Black Biz Success Mastermind Pro version where you get me as a personal consultant to help you grow and stretch your business. So all you got to do is go to blackbizsuccess.com to check that out for yourself. We're talking 20 amazing small money hacks that will make a huge difference in your bottom line. Before we do that, we always start the show with quote of the day, or in this time, we have the book excerpt of the day. And I'm rereading for the second time in the last 2 months, Think and Grow Rich. I actually joined a mastermind community myself. Shout out to Dr. Danetta Watson and the Black Mastermind Group, the National Black Mastermind Group. It is an amazing opportunity to grow. And she has the other side of the coin, right? Thornton Online Marketing is all about helping Black-owned businesses grow their online presence through digital marketing. She helps Black businesses lay the foundation financially and structurally to grow and scale a business. So y'all better buckle up and hold on tight for 2022 because things are starting to align for your boy. But today's quote comes from the first page of chapter 5 in Napoleon Hill's legendary Think and Grow Rich. And I just want to share this quick tip. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of but little use in the accumulation of money, right? General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. Knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to a definite end of accumulation of money, right? Some of you guys have a problem with wanting more, right? Some of you guys have a problem with accumulating massive amounts of just general knowledge, right? Specialized knowledge is where it's at. When you hear people talking about niching down to blow up, that's exactly what they're meaning. They're meaning like, who gets paid more, the general practitioner or the brain surgeon? And why? Because the general practitioner, there's tens of thousands of them around the country, but there's only few specialized brain surgeons. So they are in greater demand. Therefore, the law of supply and demand says, hey, they're in high demand. There's only few of them. So they got to charge more, right? If you want to grow a business or a brand, if you want to make more money on your job, then become an expert, people, in one thing. Become the go-to person so that no matter what, when someone thinks about digital marketing, I want them to think about me, right? That's what I want to focus my special skills on. I am acquiring the knowledge. There's a lot of things that I could be learning when it comes to business, right? But I'm not. I'm learning to specialize in the area of digital marketing, but in particular, the one area that most businesses need the most help in, that is in lead generation. So I focus on the tactics and the strategies, the mindset and the philosophies that will allow any business to attract new customers regularly and consistently, right? Sometimes we think we're not making enough money in business because our products aren't the best, right? Or we need to improve or tweak our products. No, sometimes you're not making enough money in business because you're not making enough offers, period. And you don't make enough offers because you don't have enough leads. right? All businesses, no matter the business, are relationship businesses first. And if you're not making enough offers, that's usually because you don't have enough leads. And if you don't have enough leads, it's usually because you don't have enough people to talk to. Enough people don't know you exist. You're not putting yourself in the right places where the people who are prone to do business with you congregate. So you've got to develop a specialized knowledge around how do I get in the places where the people who want and need my services congregate. And as a digital marketing coach and consultant, I teach people how to do just that. And that is my area of expertise. That is my specialized skill set, right? My two superpowers that God blessed me with: creative genius and patience, right? And it's taken me 47 years to realize that those are superpowers. He gave me a creative genius and he gave me patience. And now I know how to use those two skills to acquire specialized knowledge so that I can grow and scale and make the impact on this earth that I want to make. So that is the book excerpt of the day. And today's book excerpt is brought to you by my good friends over at Open Arms Wellness, Healing Mind and Body. They have an amazing team of counselors and life coaches that are certified, licensed. They do family therapy, they do couples therapy, they do teen therapy. If you're having trouble with your kids and they're just not, doing well, they're not functioning and thriving socially. Sometimes those are things that are beyond the normal teenage stuff. And you need to have someone for them to talk to. So go check out openarmswellness.com, or you can give them a call at 314-329-4326 and let them know that Cortez Hustle sent you. So today we're talking small money hacks, right? As they say, ladies and gentlemen, success is not built in a day. So your financial success ain't going to be built today, but it is going to be built daily, right? What are you doing every single day that's going to that's going to compound over time? So I put the link in the comments. You guys know that I love lifehack.org. That's a great blog that I like to frequent when I'm looking for great content to share with you guys. So if you go to lifehack.org /articles/money, you'll see that this is the article that we are referencing today. So let me see if it lists the author of today's article. Yes, it does. Kaylin Bruce is the author for today. Do you want to save money? Of course you do, right? There are plenty of ways to save money without spending hours to do so. Here are 20 simple mini money saving hacks that can help you save a lot. Let's get straight to the point. Number one on the list. All right, number one is covered up with a video. Let me see if I can refresh that real quick and get to number one. Put your savings on autopilot. We're talking about how can you make little micro adjustments in the way you approach money so that they will have a bigger impact down the road, right? Number one, put your savings on autopilot. You can automate just about everything, and you should. It takes a lot of weight off your shoulders and frees up your time. Saving is easy to automate with online banking. Simply set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings each month, or try Digit, right? This is why I always give you guys the links to the articles, because they always link to other things. So Digit is a free tool that automatically transfers different amounts from your checking account to your savings account. It's an intelligent tool that knows when you can and can't afford to save. But don't worry, if for some reason Digit causes you to overdraft by taking too much, they will fully reimburse you any fees or charges. Wow, pretty cool, right? So click on the link in the article so you can go try the Digit tool
that can help you automatically transfer money. When you set it on autopilot, you don't have to think about it. One of the things that I love to talk about when I think about automation is I want you to think about being down to that last $20, right? Everybody has been there. Well, most people have been there, right? It's Monday, you got your last 20 bucks and you don't get paid. Your direct deposit ain't gonna hit till midnight on Thursday, but you still got to get through 4 days, right? How do you make that last $20 stretch? We go through hell and high water, but we get it done, right? And then here's the crazy thing. Not only do we make that $20 stretch, but we thinking, okay, I got $20. So if I put $10 worth of gas in the car, that's going to get me through Thursday, right? I'll be good to go. I got a couple dollars if I need, to grab me some lunch or something like that. And never fails. I don't know about you. I'm the father of 5 sons. Never fails. I get down to that last $20. I'm planning it in my head. I'm like, okay, here's how I'm going to make this stretch. Then the kids come knock on the bedroom door, Daddy, I need $5 for a field trip today. Now all of a sudden my $20 that I got to stretch is down to 15. Because how can you tell your kid, no, he can't go on a field trip because you're down to your last $20, right? Here's what I want you to think about. What would happen if you took the same attitude that you have with that last $20? What if you had that same attitude with your whole paycheck, with the entire lump, right? We know what to do when we get down to the last. We will make that last 20 stretch, baby. What would happen if we had that same attitude with the whole lump, the whole check, the whole commission, the whole amount, and not just scramble at the end, right? That's the attitude. So because I know you can make the last 20 stretch, when you set your savings on autopilot and the money is automatically gone, you're going to figure out how to work with what you have, right? That's just how we do. So number one tip, put your money on autopilot. Number two, seems simple, silly, but make a meal plan. We're talking about little micro mini money hacks that will transform your finances. How Cortez in the world will making a meal plan save me money and create a huge impact, right? When people ask how my wife and I feed our family of 6 for under $400 a month, I have 2 words: meal plan. Planning your meals will save you a ton. It eliminates buying extra food that you don't need. It also helps you plan ahead for making more affordable meals rather than buying what looks good when you're at the grocery store. I'll go over how to make a meal plans even cheaper in the next point. I don't know if you guys really know why the biggest reason that we spend money, any amount, on anything that we spend money because we live in an economy, we live in a world, we live in a society that has sped us up in such a way that we pay for convenience. We know these fast food restaurants don't have the healthiest food, but they do have the food right now. And I'm hungry right now, and I don't have a whole lot of time. So what are we paying for? We're paying for convenience. So if we just dial that back and say, you know what, based on what the meals cost today, it's like if I wanted to go and feed my family like I used to do, McDonald's, you hit the dollar menu, but the dollar menu is now the $3 menu, right? So the 7 of us times $3, that would be $21 for just one meal. I guarantee you, with a little meal prep and planning, you probably can go to the grocery store and buy some of the similar things, right? And not only feed your family just the one day, you can feed them 2 or 3 days for that same 21, but it's not going to be convenient, right? My wife and I struggled with that and had to come to the realization that we would go grocery shopping and then eat out, which meant the groceries would go bad and we'd have to then throw the groceries out. So it's like, okay, stop fighting it. If you gonna eat out, stop buying groceries and then just eat out. Period. Because it got to a place where we were literally throwing away more food than we were eating because we were going grocery shopping in bulk. And we would let it go bad because instead of taking the time to plan, to cook the meals, running, it's too easy to stop and grab a couple $5 pizzas. And we got frozen pizza in the freezer going bad, right? So we're talking small micro money hacks, right? That you can deploy that can transform your finances long term. But we're now at 7:22, so y'all know what that means. It is time for 1 minute motivation. If you're new here to the Cortez Hustle Show, 1 minute motivation is where we play a short motivational video, anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I want you to give me your takeaways, and I'm going to give you my takeaways. Those of you who are watching us live, just comment in the chat something that you heard that stuck out to you. Personal growth and self-development is happening 24/7, 365. The question is, are you being intentional about it? So we want to intentionally put some good information into your head today. So let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
What you think is more important than what you do. And so if you want to change, you got to work on this attitude bit.
When you take on a massive change, whether it's trying to diet after a lifetime of being overweight, or maybe running your first race after a lifetime of never ever exercising, or maybe it's starting to date again after you lost your spouse to cancer. When you confront something that's going to require you to change your behavior, you basically come face to face with the gap between who you are right now and the future person you want to be.
So you need to foster the belief in what you are dreaming so that it becomes a reality, which is very different than saying, I don't expect anybody to believe it until I see it. You need people to believe it before they can see it.
Here's how you can assure yourself to enjoy yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I want you to get this, because it starts as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning, or whenever it is that you start the day. As soon as you open up your eyes to greet the day, you enter into consciousness. It is at that moment that your creativity is at its most powerful. Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go.
Hoo-wee! What do you do when you start your day? What? Do you take control of the most creative hour that you will probably have throughout the whole day? So when you get your day started, right? He started that was my man, Dr. Miles Monroe. Love me some Dr. Miles Monroe. He's got some great training on vision, great training on leadership. In fact, that's how I was introduced to Dr. Miles Monroe. My mom bought me this book on the principles and power of leadership for my birthday one time, or the principles and power of vision. And man, I've got me and my sons, my whole family, we be on some Dr. Miles Monroe. But what you think is more important than what you do. Why is that, Cortez? Because what you do is a result of what you think. Oh, y'all got to get that. What you think is more important than what you do, because what you do is a result of what you think. Anybody know what you think is a result of? Put comment in the chat if you know what you think. Where does what you think come from, right? So my man Trig says, yep, what you think is more important than what you do. your belief system, right? Brenda says, if you're going to buy fast food, stop buying food from the grocery store. It would only spoil and go. But yeah, I did. We spent a whole lot of time trying to figure that thing out. So he also said, I think that was Mel Robbins talked about the gap, right? The gap between who you are and who you want to be. My question to you is, what are you doing about that gap? What are you doing about the gap between who you are is over here, who you want to be is over here? What are you doing about that gap? Also known as that dash, right? That dash between the day you were born and the day that you die, there's a dash. How are you filling that gap? What are you doing, right? Believe it or not, y'all, this podcast is me. It is me talking to you about the things that I know I need to focus on learning. I'm just taking y'all on a journey with me. Please don't take this as your boy has arrived. Please don't take this as your boy has got it all together. No, I'm just taking you on the journey with me as I'm getting it together. You guys are watching me go from who I am to who I want to be. I'm working through this thing right now, but I'll tell you this. Every morning, I do have a bit of a routine. I'm a little bit focused on seizing the day, starting my day off with some good stuff, right? That's important. Do you have a routine that's going to create a habit in your life that by default leads you to success? That's the key. What habits are you establishing? Are you establishing and continue to succumb to habits that are leading you to poverty, lack, discomfort, misery in your life? Or are you constantly tweaking habits and creating habits that all I have to do is this habit, and over time, it's going to create the success that I want? All I have to do, like step one, is set my saving on autopilot, automatically have $20, $30, $50 going over to my mutual fund where I'm averaging about 15% return on that investment in that particular fund. If I just make the habit, right? And I'm not there. I don't do that. I'm just thinking out loud now. And this is why I do these shows like, Cortez, you got a mutual fund that is averaging 15+% return on investment. Why haven't you set on autopilot a habit of every time one of your clients pays you for services, a portion of that automatically goes into that fund? If it's crypto, then it's crypto. If it whatever you got, if you like, it says saving, but to me, saving in 2022 means investing. I don't believe in the just going into a savings account. That to me means investing, right? So hopefully you guys got some value out of that. Mark says, you think, your thinking will challenge you to grow. Yes, indeed, right? So your thinking is your actions come from what you think, right? That's why thinking is more important, but your thinking comes from how and what you believe, especially how and what you believe about you. It's important. It's important, right? Glenda says, listen, I have to control my dash. Recharge is my theme this year. Not only think it, but make it happen. Love it, love it, love it. So that is 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Personal Branding 365. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are struggling to dominate social media because you just don't know how, then at the time I'm recording this, you can go to personalbranding365.com, make a small investment of $7.95, and learn my tried, true, and tested strategies on using social media, using the internet to build a brand that naturally attracts to you your ideal prospects, converts them into raving fans or paying customers on autopilot, and then you wash, rinse, and repeat. I literally have over $400 worth of bonuses that come with this $7.95 ebook. And that's why I say at the time of this recording, you can get it for $7.95 because I can't keep it at that price, right? So go to personalbranding365.com to check that out. So we're talking 20 micro hacks, micro money hacks that will make a big impact. This is part one of a two-part series. We'll finish this up tomorrow. So number one says set your saving on autopilot. And you guys know I interchange saving with investing. So why send money into a savings account that's not bearing any interest when you can send it into an interest-bearing account? Now, I get it if you are in a place where you don't have an emergency fund built yet. You want to put your emergency fund somewhere that you can have access to it. But maybe a money market account would be best, something that's going to at least grow that money a little bit until you need it. And of course, I'm not your financial planner or advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying these are questions you should be talking to your certified financial professional about. Number one, put your savings on autopilot. Number two, make a meal plan, because meal plans get you out of buying food on convenience. Number three, plan meals around sales. We're talking about just little tweaks. Now, is this going to be easy if you're used to ripping and running and you have to literally maybe get up 30 minutes earlier to start preparing meals for the day or stay up a little bit later? No, it's not going to be easy. Nothing is easy when you first start. But commit to it and it will get easier, right? You don't have to spend hours going through sale papers to find the best deals on everything. Just make your meal plan, but leave the specifics open. For example, one of your meals could be a stir fry. So you need meat, veggies, and grain. When you get to the store, buy the best price meats, veggies, and grain. Then look for grain like rice or quinoa and buy whatever is the most cost effective, weighing the price and health benefits. So plan your meals around sales, right? Some people can look at the Sunday paper and see the sales paper and say, you know what? They've got beef on sale this week. Chicken is a little bit expensive, so we're going to have 3 meals made with beef this week. They've got great sale on their fruits this week, so we're going to have fruit salad a couple times this week instead of traditional leafy green salad, right? Plan your meals around sales, right? Any opportunity to save money. Number 4, this is huge, and people don't believe it, but I'm telling you. Number 4, drink more water. Cortez, you done lost your mind. How in the heck is drinking more water going to save me money? This may seem obvious, but the statistics show that it isn't. You'll save a lot of money if you stop buying the 24 packs of soda and bottles of juice. Bottled water is cheap. Tap water is cheaper. There are many great options for filtering if you're not a fan of the tap taste. Weigh the cost and see whether you prefer bottle or tap. When you're eating out, a family of 6 can easily save $12 to $20 per meal by drinking water instead of soda, right? Now, let me take it a little bit further for you. Let me take it a little bit deeper. We're talking about saving money, right? One of the biggest expenses we have is our food expense, our consumption, right? Did you know that studies show, and I ain't trying to heal, cure, prevent, treat any diseases, but did you know, go do your own research. Most people eat when they're thirsty. Oh, I'm going to say it again. Did you know Most people eat when they are thirsty, right? If you have never done any research into um, industrialized food packaging and creation, and some of the stuff that goes into our packaged food, some of the stuff that they do to the foods in restaurants, not only to preserve it, right? I get it. They're business, they're in business. They're trying to make sure that they're giving their investment a longer shelf life, right? But there's also a huge connection between the companies that make medicine and pharmaceuticals and the companies that make food additives. So follow me down this rabbit hole for one quick second. You've got a pharmaceutical company and they're studying this one compound, and they're thinking that this one compound does XYZ, right? But it doesn't. But as they're studying and they find it doesn't do what we want it to do. But in our studies, we found that it made people more hungry. We found that it actually breaks the cycle, or it suppresses the connection between your stomach and your brain that tells your brain when your stomach is full. We can't use it because it doesn't do us any good. But people who process food might want this in their foods, right? So when you think about the average person eats when they're thirsty, because the thirst sensation and the hunger sensation is almost identical. You have to be conscious enough to say, okay, I just ate, but I feel hungry again. Oh, I'm not really hungry, I'm thirsty. So before you go out and buy that bag of snack chips, because snack chips ain't 50 cents no more, you're going to spend $2 on a bag of chips. Before you go out and spend that $2 on a bag of chips, go drink you some water. And 30 minutes after you drink 8 ounces of water, see if you're still hungry. And I promise you, 80% of the time, you're not. Because the thirst sensation and the hunger sensation are so similar that most people eat when they are hungry, right? So drinking more water saves money when you don't buy soda and you buy water instead, especially at restaurants, because they're going to charge you $4 for those refillable drinks, right? So you can get you some water instead, but also drinking your water before, right? I would challenge any of you guys, if you are going to a fast food restaurant, if you are going out to eat dinner, I would challenge you to drink 20 ounces of water before you go sit down at the restaurant. I can almost promise you'll order less food, saving you even more money. I'm just saying, do your own research, people. Do your own research into the thirst sensation and the hunger sensation and how similar they are. And you'll start realizing, man, Cortez, all this time I've been eating. I should have been drinking the water first when I felt that sensation. And then 30 minutes later, if I still feel the sensation to eat, then that was probably the hunger sensation, right? What is it going to hurt? You're going to have a lot more water in your system, which you probably need anyway, right? So drink more water, number 4. Number 5, set an automatic budget. Set an automatic budget. We're talking money hacks, ladies and gentlemen, that will have a big impact on your bottom line. There are plenty of free services like Mint and Personal Capital that allow you to link your accounts and automatically track your budget. If you're not one for spreadsheets and inputting numbers, this is for you. This is for me, right? I've started a new practice this year so that I get my business finances on order, because I try to go once a week. I try to go once a month, just go back and look at everything. And I was like, no, you know what I started doing? I started setting my Fitbit timer for 15 minutes, and 15 minutes of every day, I focus only on going through my business financials every day. And you'd be amazed at how long 15 minutes is when you're actually focused on something. Because I've be getting through so much, and I'd be like, man, seems like it's been 15 minutes. I look at the Fitbit, I got 7 minutes left. Like, dang. So you can set an automatic budget. If you don't like spreadsheets, use one of these tools. That's why I put the link in the actual comment so you can go check out some of these tools, right? You are able to view it and oversee the budget, but once you set your categories, everything is automatically sorted for you. Occasionally, something will go into the wrong category, but it's easy to switch it and change the category for all future transactions. Boom, set an automatic budget. Number 6, set a plan to pay off debt. Set a plan to pay off debt. If you want to get out of debt, you need a plan, right? Make that your focus. I've got a credit card that I bought my son a car on, and I'm like, okay, these next 90 days, I'm gonna go ahead and pay that all the way off. That's my focus, right? Do you have a plan, or are you just constantly saying, man, I gotta get out of debt. I gotta get out of debt. I gotta get out of debt. No, I got a plan to get out of debt, right? There are a few options, but the two most common are the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. How do they work? For the debt snowball, you simply write down all of your debts from the smallest balance to the largest. Then you use any extra money to pay off the smallest balance first. Once that's paid off, take the payment plus any extra money and put it on the next smallest balance, and you keep that cycle. That's the debt snowball. With the debt avalanche, it's the same idea, except you sort by interest rate, highest to lowest, instead of by balance. The debt avalanche will save you more money in interest, but you may prefer to pay the small win. So the debt snowball, you get a bunch of small wins because you're paying stuff off quickly. The debt avalanche says, hey, I got this credit card and it's at 25% interest. I'm going to pay this one off first because that interest is killing me, right? So that's the method. Now, I'm going to introduce another method. I won't talk you through it, but write this down. Go do some research and look up my man, Denzel Rodriguez, and velocity banking. Denzel Rodriguez. If someone will put that in the chat for me, that would be amazing. Go look up Denzel Rodriguez and velocity banking. That's another way to quickly get out of debt, right? And it basically says, I'm going to borrow money that has interest attached, but it's low and it's simple interest. It's not compound interest. It's simple interest. I'm going to take that money and pay off the debts where the interest is compounded, right? It's a whole thing, man. Denzel Rodriguez, velocity banking. It's an amazing strategy. Number 7, get a second job. Now, this is where I defer, right? But let's hear them out. If you're trying to reach a goal that seems to be taking longer than you'd like, you may want to get a second job. If not forever, just a temporary job to get you past whatever situation you're in. If you're in debt, a second job is a great way to pay it off faster. If you're building an emergency fund, get a second job, you'll get it knocked out. The service industry is great for this, such as waiting tables or delivering pizzas. Service jobs are great for maximizing your extra hours since you'll be getting tips and likely making more than you would at a regular job. I'm gonna give you a couple other things that you can do to make some extra money, right? Let me see, we're tracking on time. I'm gonna give you the first 10 today. A couple other things that you can do to make some extra money. A second job is great, but it consumes your time, right? If you have a decent car, look into personal car rental options. If you got a decent car, especially if you're a homebody, you're the type of person that, hey man, I got me a nice Acura. and I'm usually home on the weekends. I'm usually just chilling out and I'm not doing a whole lot. You know that you can put that car on an app like Turo or some of these other personal rental car apps and have that car making you money over the weekend while you're sitting at home chilling, right? It's just a thought, right? I know there's risk involved. This is my car, right? But especially if you got a second car, right? And it doesn't matter if the car is nice or not, because there's some cars that are super nice. Turo is kind of like for the super nice cars. You got a Jeep, Rubicon, for instance. You know, those are very popular. People are paying anywhere from $100 to $200 a day to rent those things from just individuals, right? But if you have a nice compact car, right? A nice Accord or Honda Civic, right? Well, guess what? People will rent those cars from you to do ride share. They might rent your car and want to do some Instacart shopping, and you earn anywhere from $50 to $100 a day. So that's another option, right? Another option we talked about and 20 great small business ideas to start in 2022. Man, if you don't get on eBay and you don't get on Facebook Marketplace and go through your closet and see what you can put out there for sale, it ain't gonna hurt anything. Take you about an hour to set that stuff up, take some pictures of what you got and say. Now, here's what other people do. My son has got a friend who is super. Hey, Dr. V, the speaker's in the building. My son has got a friend who is super into thrifting, right? What is thrifting? Thrifting is when you go to the thrift stores in the most affluent communities that you can find, and you get the items from the thrift store. You might find a pair of, I don't know if True Religion jeans is still a thing, but you might find a pair of True Religion jeans for $3 in good condition and turn around and put them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay for $25. Wait, what? Yeah. Here's another one. I'm gonna give you one more, right? Give you one more. I had man, I can't remember her name. Bachira, right? Dr. V says thrifting is big business, man. You better tell them. Right? I had the owner of Bachira Financials on. Her name is escaping me right now, and she built a $2 million real estate portfolio with house hacking. Here's house hacking. Now, some of you guys are right now struggling in homes that is way too much for you. You bought too much house when you bought it because you were trying to impress somebody. But now that you have evolved and you know you made this mistake, it's eating at you, and you're like, but I can't downsize. I don't want to sell my home. My kids grew up here. And house hacking. Airbnb is one way to house hack, right? Airbnb is one way to house hack, but you can also house hack by renting a room. If you have a basement with its own exit, oh man, you rent that whole thing out as a separate deal altogether, especially if it has a restroom. And then you give community access to your kitchen and maybe a living room, right? Just kind of depends on how far you want to go. She bought a townhouse with an extra room. She brought in a roommate for the extra room. The basement had its own exit. So she then rented out the basement and the extra room over on the East Coast, where the rent was probably $1,900 a month. Between those two house hacking moves, she was only responsible for $300 a month. She took all of that extra revenue and went and bought a second property. And she did the same thing. She didn't take that property and just rent it to one family. She house hacked and she rented it to 3 or 4 different individuals. I'm just saying, there's some things that you can do to make some extra money. And then you can take all of the extra money and throw it at your debts, right? So get a second job or get a side hustle, right? I would say get a side hustle, because we're not even going to get into this, but the tax benefits of a side hustle versus a second job, right? I've always been told, I had a mentor tell me 2 jobs is for 2 people, right? But the tax benefits of a side hustle versus a second job, that's why I'm big on the side hustle versus the second job. Let me get through these last 3. Tomorrow, come back and we're going to rock out the last 10. We got 20 of these. So number 8, challenge everything. Challenge everything. Challenge every single expense you have. Do you really need cable? Right? What about those magazine subscriptions that you don't need? Both of them cost money on their own, and the ads could possibly persuade you to spend even more money. Now, this is one I never even tripped off of, right? You got cable and you're paying for cable. Cable is putting all of the advertisement in front of you. So after you pay for cable, now you're getting marketed to 24/7 that makes you go out and spend more money. You know where you don't find ads? In books. At least not until you get all the way to the end, right? Odds are you can cut something out. Perhaps you've been paying for a service so long that it's second nature. It's time for a challenge, and here's how you do it. Write down every single expense you have. Look for expenses you can fully cut. Find ways to save money on the remaining expenses, right? Here's an area that everybody, that most people can save on. Get caught up on your bills. Fight like hell to get caught up on your bills. I know for a fact, and this is me personally, right? My wife and I, we struggle with this and we talk about it all the time. Paying bills late and being okay with eating that $10, $15 late fee is a bad habit. It's a bad habit. And for most people, all you would have to do is sacrifice for a week or 2 to get ahead, right? So for instance, mortgage is due, rent is due on the 5th, but you get paid that second week of the month, every month. So you just say, hey man, I'm just gonna eat the $50 late fee and I'm just gonna pay my rent when I get paid that second time, right? No, fight like hell to rearrange your budget so you can pay 2 mortgages or 2 rent payments in one single month. So you can get what you do. You just save yourself $600 a year. Are you kidding me? $600 a year. If your late fee is $50. Some people late fee is $150. Then $10 a day for every day that they go beyond. Come on, man. Come on. Challenge everything, including your ideas about how and when you make these payments. Number 9, compare insurance rates. We're talking little things that can make a big difference, right? Matter of fact, we're not even going to go to number 9. I'm going to give you all 12 tomorrow. We're going to finish the last 12 tomorrow because I want you guys to get this, right? Write down lost opportunity costs. Lost opportunity cost. See, we don't look at money the way wealthy people look at money, right? I heard Grant Cardone say one time, blew my mind. He said, never put the word just or only in front of money. Wealthy people don't do that. We see fake wealthy people on TV and they throw money away. Real wealthy people never say it's just a $50 late fee. It's only a $5 late fee. You know why? Because they understand lost opportunity cost. If I pay Uncle Sam more than what I should pay him, then I lost the opportunity to have that money making money for me forever. I didn't say have that money making money for me next month. When you invest money and you understand how to have your investment set up in a way that the interest earned on that money is automatically reinvested, then that money has the potential to make you money forever. Forever. It's a lost opportunity cost when you say it's just $5. When you're at the checkout line at Walmart and you grab that Pepsi and you grab that bag of chips and you grab that Snicker bar and you say it's just the extra $4. It's usually because you don't understand what $4 could become if you put it in the right place. That's how we got to start looking at money. Never, ever, ever, for the rest of your life, put the word just or only in front of money. Right? It's only a penny. So you walk over it. It's only a dime. So you step right over it. I ain't rich enough to where I can walk over a penny right now. I might break my neck and cause an accident trying to stop and pick up a penny that I see laying on the ground. I ain't rich enough yet. I don't know, maybe you get to the point where you're rich enough. I ain't rich enough to where if I see a penny laying on the ground, I can step over it. I'm not rich enough yet. I don't know if I ever will be, because I understand lost opportunity. I know there's no such thing as only money. I know that penny compounded. That penny doubled every day for 30 days. Y'all know the story. I ain't never seen a penny that I didn't like. I ain't not rich enough to walk over a penny if I see it laying on the ground. Now, I will make a conscious decision to say, okay, that penny is laying on somebody's property, so maybe I don't pick it up. Maybe they're going to come back for it. But shoot, man, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to finish up our 20 micro hacks, small money hacks that you can use to make a big impact in your bottom line. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in, man. Still comment the name of your business on your brand. I like to connect with people, so I always go back through my comments and see who's connecting. Dr. V, definitely want to get Dr. V on the show. So that's why I always ask you guys to comment, because I'm always looking to connect. So till I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.